Hello, good morning, and welcome to our daily English video. I am Najmuddin. Let's check the news together and see if we can learn any new vocabulary or how to use English in daily life. Let's go to the bbc.com. Okay, I think this is a good example. Hurricane Ian leaves 2 million without power. This is actually a very good example because hurricanes don't happen every day. So let's check this news together and try to learn some new expressions and new vocabulary. Let's check the title here. Hurricane Ian. A hurricane is a natural disaster. It's caused by very strong winds that destroy everything in its path. Leaves 2 million, of course, here we're talking about 2 million people without power. Power here we are talking about electricity, of course. The powerful storm. Now, here, this is different. Powerful here means strong. So we have two different ways to use the word power. The strong storm system, which is now weakening, so it's getting weaker, has brought severe flooding, winds, and storm surges. Severe, extreme, very bad. Flooding, you can see it here in the picture. The water is all over the land, so it's not going away. So the city has been flooded. Hurricane Ian leaves 2 million without power, the same title. Hurricane Ian heads towards Disneyland. Head here, this is a verb. It means going towards. Head. Why are hurricanes getting worse? We have a video here for 3 minutes. Let's watch it together.
Hurricanes are among the most violent storms on Earth, and there's evidence they're getting more powerful.
And there is evidence, proof. They are getting more powerful, stronger.
So, how do they form, and what impact, if any, is climate change having?
What impact, if any, is climate change having on the form of hurricanes?
Change having.
And what impact, if any? So, does climate change have any impact on hurricanes?
Hurricanes start as a small cluster of thunderstorms over the ocean, but they need specific atmospheric conditions to fully develop.
To fully develop into a hurricane. So, it's a thunderstorm cluster. Cluster, it is when many things are squeezed into one area, so we call it a cluster. You know, when we talk about claustrophobia, cluster.
The sea needs to be warm enough, at least 27
At least, the opposite of at most.
degrees Celsius or 81 Fahrenheit, which is why the Atlantic hurricane season typically lasts from June to November.
Typically lasts from June to November. Last here, this is a verb. It means it continues from June to November or stays till November.
These conditions allow storm clouds to multiply and grow.
Allow, let. Multiply and grow.
As the air rises, we get low pressure and the winds start to circulate upwards.
Circulate, go in circles, circulate.
The rotation of the Earth causes the winds to spin faster and faster.
The rotation of the Earth, because Earth is rotating around its axle. This is what causes day and night, of course.
Faster as the storm grows more powerful. When the average wind speed reaches 74 miles an hour, that's 119 kilometers an hour, the eye of the storm develops and marks the birth of a hurricane.
The eye of the storm develops, this is here in the center, where usually it's quiet, and marks the birth of a hurricane.
Not every storm, though, becomes a hurricane. Strong crosswinds in the upper atmosphere can pull a storm apart.
Can pull storm apart. Pull things apart, so they divide them.
Hurricanes are divided into categories. A Category 5 hurricane is the strongest, with winds of 157 miles an hour.
So this is how we categorize the storms. We have 5 different levels.
253 kilometers an hour or more. We actually started naming hurricanes in the 1940s as a way of getting safety messages across
as a way of getting safety messages across. So when you have a warning and you want to tell the people about it. So I want my message to get across, to get to other people.
And avoiding confusion when more than one storm was happening at the same time.
And avoiding confusion. Confusion is the noun. The famous verb is confuse. The adjective is confused. So avoid confusion. We don't want people to get confused.
The idea stuck, and names are given now in alphabetical order. But in recent years, the hurricane season has been so busy, they've used up the list and had to start again.
So busy, the season.
There's no difference between a hurricane, cyclone, or used up the list and had to start again. There's no difference between a hurricane.
When we say it was so busy, so there were too many hurricanes, that's why they had to start the list all over again.
Hurricane, cyclone, or typhoon, apart from where in the world they develop. Typhoons form over the Northwest Pacific, cyclones in the South Pacific or Indian Ocean, and hurricanes form over the North Atlantic and Northeast Pacific Oceans.
Well, this is actually very nice. I know all these words actually from video games. It's usually there is wind magic, and the person who uses this magic, he either uses typhoons, cyclones, and hurricanes.
Scientists believe global warming is making hurricanes more powerful and travel more slowly because the winds high up in the atmosphere that steer these massive storms are weakening.
Massive storms, huge storms, gigantic storms. Massive means very big.
So in 2019, Category 5 storm Dorian moved across the Caribbean at just 2 miles an hour, causing a catastrophic storm surge and death.
Catastrophic. It's extreme. Devastating also means extreme, and devastating, so it had lots of losses. It cost people lots of money and lots of deaths.
Devastating flooding. A warmer atmosphere holds more water vapor, and that means heavier rainfall. And a warmer ocean also means storms develop outside of the hurricane season. Hurricanes usually weaken when they reach land because they lose their fuel of warm water.
So here we can understand that hurricanes use warm water as fuel to push them forward.
And they can dump vast amounts of rain in a relatively short space of time.
And can dump when you throw away. Vast amounts of rain, lots, like massive, vast, in a relatively short space of time, in a very short time.
But in 2021, when Ida moved inland, it had picked up enough moisture for the rain to keep on falling. And this resulted in New York City declaring a state of emergency when a month's worth of rain fell in just one day.
So this is the same amount of rain, which usually needs a month. It just fell on the New York City in one day. Of course, this caused massive floodings.
So the current evidence suggests that climate change doesn't necessarily mean more hurricanes, but those that do develop have the potential to be stronger, wetter, and more devastating.
So climate change doesn't give us more hurricanes, but the hurricanes which develop are very deadly and more dangerous. Those that develop have the potential to be stronger, wetter, it means they carry more water, and more devastating. They are they can destroy everything in their path.
Hurricane.
And this is it for today. Thank you for your time and effort, and good luck.